Hey, Bikeaholics, Patch Addict has premium embroidered patches for every passion. Head over to lawabidingbiker.com/patch addict. Type in LAB-15, that's LAB-15 at checkout for 15% off your next purchase. Here we go, boys.
Let's do it.
The following program is rated TV MALSV. It contains strong language, sexual situations, violence, and nudity. It is intended only for mature audiences. Viewer discretion advised.
God dang, dude, I wish I had an awesome voice like that.
You need to drink a lot of whiskey, smoke a lot of cigarettes.
Viewer discretion advised.
Dude, you would get all the chicks if you could talk in their ear like that, dude.
Batman. Hey, baby.
What's my name?
Who are you?
What's my name?
I'm Batman.
I'm Batman. You would straight up get all the chicks, man, for sure. Hey, Bikeaholics and listeners alike, the show is still going strong because of a lot of hard work and your support, of course. Thanks to all those loyal listeners and true friends of the show that have supported us or are supporting us. For less than a coffee a month, you can help support us too and put a little fuel in the law-abiding biker gas tank to make sure this show keeps moving on down the road. So, calling all law-abiding bikers, head over to our Patreon page and take action today. You can do so at lawabidingbiker.com/Patreon, Patreon. Oh, did I mention there's benefits too? From all your friends at lawabidingbiker.com, we appreciate each and every one of you. God bless and ride safe.
Right into this world, all alone.
Bringing back memories,
Oh,
Chewy.
it's been a long time.
Gotta
It's been a
take
while.
your soul. You're on your own. The crow flies straight.
Oh, yeah. Little trip down memory lane.
Until you die.
It's actually a pretty dang good song, really.
It is. It is. We're just going to do that as our opener. Welcome back, you freaking Bikeaholics. This is the podcast for the motorcycle majority, the Big MM, also known as the
99%.
That is right. Large and in charge of the motorcycle scene more than any time in history. By listening to this very podcast, Chewy, they are part of what we call the biker revolution.
Oh, yeah.
Listen to that.
Great stuff.
Strumming.
Give me a beer.
I got one. You got one?
I do have one.
That's right, guys. We just have one question for you. What are you waiting for, Bikeaholics? Mount up. Let us
Take you on another wild-ass ride.
There you go, guys. And that is the one, the only Lurch over there. Of course, taking up a seat on the law-abiding biker couch. Chewy, give us a live one. Yeah, Chewy in the house. Love it, guys. Welcome back. Ryan Erlacher here, your host of the Law-Abiding Biker Podcast and your
High-tech redneck.
There you go, guys. And got an exciting topic for you today. All about our main topic. We're going to get right into it here in a second is the new Mayans Motorcycle Club Sons of Anarchy spin-off show. There's been a lot of hustle. There's been a lot of bustle.
Oh, yeah.
There's been some hustle bustle.
Some bustle hustle. Muscle.
Has there been some muscle?
There's
Russell?
been a lot of it lately, and it's exciting.
Yeah, it
is it not exciting, guys?
I guess.
Dude,
For us. Hey,
Lurch takes me down. Did you hear that? I'm getting the audience excited. It's exciting. There's a hustle and bustle. Lurch, I guess.
Who invited this? Who invited this guy? Anyway?
Jeez, get me a pistol, put it in my mouth. What were you going to say, Chewy? About hustle bustle?
Hustle, bustle, muscle. I don't know.
That's right, guys. But it's exciting. Let me get my steam back.
Yeah.
I'm excited, and I know you guys are excited because this has been talked about since 2014 when the last finale episode of Sons of Anarchy aired in season 7. Of course, I spit on my monitor. Don't worry about it. I'm excited.
You're all kinds of excited.
It's been talked about. It's been discussed and theorized, and everybody has an opinion. And were they going to do a spinoff show, and were they not? And if they did do a spinoff show, what was it going to be? And would people from the original Sons of Anarchy be in it? There were so many ideas, and I had 1,000 myself for this particular spinoff show. They've narrowed it down. It is official.
Yep.
We're going to get into the details for you guys. But before we do that, we want to let you guys know that this particular episode is sponsored by the following people, guys. That's right. They are our beloved patrons. Law-abiding biker. No, not that one. Which one do you want to do? This one? Let's do this one.
Yeah, I like that.
Sweet.
That makes me want to drink a little bit of Jameson.
Yes.
Why didn't somebody, while I wipe the spit off my monitor, can somebody read the patrons?
We got Bobby Stokes of Dallas, Georgia. He's a top tier. Tony Peterson of Bethlehem, Pennsylvania. And Chad Wilcox of Arvada, Colorado. He's a top tier giver as well. Thank you, guys.
Thank you. You guys put the fuel in the law-abiding biker gas tank. Keeps us running on down the road.
That's right, guys. They took action. lawabidingbiker.com/Patreon, Patreon. You too can pledge a certain amount per piece of content. That's right. No risk, guys, because you can put a monthly cap on it. That's right. And stay within your family budget. And it helps us keep going. It gives us an idea of what kind of services we can provide to you guys and how much we can do. And we appreciate that so very much. So why don't you open it up? We're going to get right into our main topic. And, you know what we need to do?
I don't, but you're going to let me know.
Oh, I am.
Please tell us.
So you guys all know, back in the day, law-abiding biker. I did spit on my monitor, by the way.
Did you really?
I was cleaning it off for you.
Clean yourself up, would you?
It's ridiculous, dude. Spat on my monitor.
He's got some pre-spit over there. Pre-spit.
Let me wet my whistle.
So you can spit some more?
That's ice cold Modelo. It was really good.
Tasty.
So back in the day, we did, we're reminiscing a little bit because Chewy did a lot of them. Matt did some of them. Chewy that was kind of his forte a bit, so to speak. With the Sons of Anarchy, we did, of course, the Law-Abiding Biker podcast, our regular episodes, but we also were hot and heavy and did, I think the last 3 seasons, if I remember right, for every 2 episodes, we did a podcast episode, right?
Yeah, every 2.
And
towards the end, I think we did one for every episode right there, the last few, didn't we?
You're right. We did. As the show, the series was winding down. So we did a whole bunch of those. And so we love the Sons of Anarchy show. Of course, guys, you all that know us, if it's your first time listening, we don't in any way try to emulate or live that lifestyle where the 99%ers,
it's entertainment.
or condone it. It's frickin' entertainment.
Hollywood entertainment.
Exactly. And it entertains us and we can drink a beer
and laugh
or two and laugh and cry. Chewy cried at Sons of Anarchy when Jax ran into the truck. I literally held him in my arms.
All by myself.
Oh yeah. What are you singing, Lurch?
All by myself.
Oh yeah. All by myself. Yeah. What was that? I don't remember the song.
I don't know.
Great. Come join the.
Was there a song they were playing?
The murder. Come join the murder. That's a great song, really. It is. You're just chilling.
It is. Makes me want to eat a pistol like Matt did earlier when he took the wind out of my sails.
Give me my shotgun. Let me eat it.
It is a good song.
Yeah, it is. But if you do relate it to the show, it is kind of like, geez.
Yeah, right.
Depressing.
It is. If you relate it to the show, yeah. So, anyways, we did several seasons of that in between our regular episodes, and we had a lot of fun with Sons of Anarchy. I don't know what we're gonna do because with this show,
I think we need to. I think we need to watch and
we'll have to see if it's any good first.
Good call, right? To see if it's worthwhile because it's a lot of extra work for us guys.
Well, and it's
and I know somebody else will start a podcast. Because there was several other, they did nothing else but just Sons of Anarchy podcast. We're much bigger than that, and it was extra for us.
Bonus.
It was a lot because we had to get together every other week and we had to get it out because it was time sensitive. So we had to do it. 2 episodes. Come join the murder, Chewy. Come join the murder.
You know what a murder?
Hey,
you know what he's talking about? I didn't know this. I guess a flock of crows is a murder. They call it a murder.
Oh, no shit?
Yeah.
Oh, never knew that.
So it's like he turned into a crow and
okay. Wow.
When he died.
And a flock of crows is called a murder?
Yes.
I guess. That's what I was told.
There was a lot of crows.
Oh, I know. Yeah. That makes more sense now.
Well, what's the symbol? There's got to be something else. What's a crow symbolize?
Well, it depends. I mean,
like death?
Black.
Death.
Darkness.
Yeah, maybe.
And death?
It just depends. It's in Native American culture. There's they're supposed to carry spirits or something. I mean, it just depends.
We're in the spirit world,
Yeah.
asshole. Okay, but we yeah. So I
And
guess
it was Sam Crow.
right. Sam Crow. Oh yeah, right. See, look at we could just keep going. Yeah, God, that's why it was fun.
Yeah.
it was a lot of work, but every 2 weeks we did it, and then
Well, and it got us together.
It got us together.
Yeah.
Yes. And they were very. I took copious notes on that show, and man, we broke it down. So we'll see. We're not sure if we're going to do that for you guys on the Mayans MC show. Is what it's going to be called. But we'll, like Lurch says, and Chewy will watch it first.
Any of you guys watch his other show that he tried to put out?
Which one?
Yeah, tell me about
the
that.
Bastard Executioner.
I liked it.
You know,
I didn't
Hang on. So I want you to talk about that, but you said he, and we haven't even mentioned his name, Kurt Sutter.
Kurt Sutter, the director of the show Sons of Anarchy.
He was the writer,
Creator.
and director,
Creator.
and he's creating the spinoff. Kurt Sutter is a writer,
but he's got another
yes, which we'll talk about.
director.
Talk about Bastard what? Or-
Bastard Executioner. It was back in the medieval times.
Did you watch it, Lurch?
I did.
This was a Kurt Sutter show
Yeah.
after on the heels of Sons of Anarchy, right?
Yeah. And I think the problem is,
Because it got some shit reviews.
I think if you would have
They
given
pulled it.
Yeah. It was done.
How many episodes they do?
They did a full season.
They did one
did they?
season.
Yeah.
It wasn't bad. I didn't
And
mind
I didn't think it was bad. Some of the acting was just shitty. I do have to say,
Really?
the way they talked, they really emphasized like the accents, and a lot of it was wrong. I thought. I mean, I'm not from those times, but it just didn't appear.
That's good to know.
Yeah, it was weird that I'm not from those times.
Yeah.
Right.
Ooh,
Sorry. Just made a little observation there.
reincarnated.
Oh, God, dude.
But I didn't.
One for Lurch.
I didn't think the show was
Comedian over there in the corner. Go ahead, sorry.
I think they should have tried to give it another, go another season. Just see what happens.
Yeah, it wasn't bad.
But
Can you still get the season of episodes? Did they leave that up on Netflix or something?
I have no idea. I watched it.
that I don't know. I'm sure you could find it on the internet someplace.
But I watched it on network television. I don't know.
I'm
if
sure you
can
could find
get
it someplace.
I'm sure you can.
Yeah.
It wouldn't be worth it now.
His wife was
you
in it.
realize it's not going to go on.
His wife got nude in it.
Who?
What's her name? Katie
Gemma?
Sagal.
Katie
Gemma?
Segal.
Katie Segal.
Yeah, she got naked.
Gemma, please.
She played was she
Like a witch.
Like a witch.
Yeah, and he was
Did you see her
like
snatch?
no, you saw her backside and her boobs.
Okay. What did you
And,
think about that? You look
I was
disturbed.
like, wow,
You're squinting your eyes.
I was like, wow, she's really old.
She's
You
getting
know?
there. Yeah.
that bad, huh?
But she's skinny. I mean, she's not horrible. She's not ugly by no means, but
No.
Right.
it's just kind of like, whoa.
Gemma. I did not see you like that.
Yeah.
Uh-huh.
So, but
All right.
I just think they should have, given it another season.
Well, FX wasn't willing
It was
to do
bru-
that.
and it was-
brutal.
Oh, it was
The way they pulled it and stuff. It's got, if you look it up, holy shit, there's like nobody says anything nice about it. Like Kurt Sutter got trashed on that.
well,
And I'm not saying it's bad. I'm just, what I'm saying is
I didn't think it
the
was
problem
bad.
is people are trying to relate it to Sons of Anarchy.
It's a different show.
It's different, totally different. It's not about bicycles. It's about
motorcycles.
Did I say bicycles?
You did.
Sons of Anarchy was not a bicycle.
Okay,
show,
I'll
by
see
the
you
way.
guys. Okay, I'll see you guys later. I'm leaving now.
Ban them out.
Dude. Straight up, dude.
But no, it's not about motorcycles. It's about the times back then. And it was a brutal show. I mean, there was a lot of gore.
Here's the deal, though.
killing.
Yep. A lot of blood.
It was kind of dark, I heard.
Yeah.
Very dark. The reason FX pulled it straight up, no jokes aside, it just didn't get the audience,
Right.
the viewership, and they were losing money on it.
So I wonder if
And they pulled it, and it just, people weren't interested in it, even though Kurt Sutter is a brilliant writer, but he's a fucking psycho too.
Oh yeah.
You know what I mean?
Well, of course, because that's why he's a good writer.
And a lot of people said
'Cause
he
doesn't think
went
like the
too
rest
far.
of us. Oh.
You know what I mean?
Well, and
Yeah.
I wonder how that works. Is it ratings? How many people?
It's
you
how
have
many
to-
commercials they're selling. And if they ain't have enough viewers to sell the commercials, it's called CPMs, clicks per milli. And they base it off how many possible
So they have a
viewers.
minimum amount.
And they got
and
they got to have
to meet that.
Right. Cause the just like
'Cause
podcasting,
they lose money then.
if you have a sponsor on podcasting, you gotta, it's X amount of audience and they pay you X amount of dollars per 1,000 clicks per milli is what it is. It's per 1,000. And it's just and they use something similar in that.
CPM.
CPM. Right. And they just weren't.
I just
selling
wish they would.
commercial
I wish
spots.
they would have given it one more season.
Sounds like
and
it.
just see how it goes.
That's interesting to hear that you guys watched it and liked it, because I wouldn't have known that, because
I mean, it wasn't
so much bad stuff.
It wasn't my
online.
favorite by no means. But
I'm
it
going to
wasn't
delete it from my DVR list now that it's not coming back.
Right.
I guess I just forgot that it wasn't coming back, or I forgot about the show. How long has it been gone? Was it just last
Just
year?
a year. Yeah.
It was one season.
Yeah, because Sons of Anarchy SOA was out in 14.
Yeah.
The season finale.
The very last episode. Do you remember what happened in that? When he lit himself on fire?
No.
I don't
remember that.
Crazy. Crazy good.
Now I almost got to watch it.
Yeah. But
So we had some fun with Sons of Anarchy. So we're gonna reminisce a little bit, and then we're gonna talk about the Mayans. But this will be fun because I made everybody. You guys heard in the opener the actual guy's voice. We talked about it.
The following program.
That voice.
the following program.
And I made everybody do it, and we'd open SOA.
Oh,
So
you got to play LDs.
see, you remember, don't
Yeah.
you? So let's
This
play
was
Chewy's
funny.
first.
Okay.
Let's play Chewy's. Do you remember Chewy's?
Sexual situations.
Sexual situations. We got old Caitlyn Jenner on the sofa over there.
Oh,
Oh, dude. He went there.
Geez. Oh, jeez.
Here we go. Here's Chewy. Here's Chewy about 2.5 years ago doing the intro.
The following program is rated podcast MALSV. It contains strong language, sexual situations, violence, and nudity.
You got it right
It is
there.
intended
I got it.
only for mature audiences. Viewer discretion advised.
It's not very convincing, but I like it. Did you hear my kids in the background?
Yeah.
Just like tonight, dude. All right. Let's do Lurches. Let's do Lurch. Here we go. 2.5 years ago, Lurch.
The following program is rated podcast MALSV. It contains strong language, sexual situations, violence, and nudity. It is intended only for mature audiences. Viewer discretion advised.
Well, that's hot.
Hey, you sound just the same.
That's right. That's a sexy voice right there.
Now, this one I couldn't figure out. This is Rob, LD, Law Dog. You guys know him as?
He was whispering or
We don't
something
even
weird.
know what this is. Where would he even get the idea to do this? Because it sounds nothing like it. I don't know. Here's LD.
The following program is rated podcast MALSV.
What? Is he in the bedroom or
It
something?
contains
I gotta stop. Oh my God, dude. I know. Here we go.
He's
Let's
using a sexy
finish
voice.
it. Finish it. Here we go.
the following program is rated podcast MALSV. It contains strong language, sexual situations, violence, and nudity. It is intended only for mature audiences. Viewer discretion advised.
Is he trying to get laid? What's going on?
Maybe that's his
sensual.
bedroom voice.
That's
We
sensual.
laughed so hard for so many years about that. God. And we still got, obviously, nothing goes away here at Law Abiding Biker Media. I have those saved in an actual folder, Lurch. They were SOA intros. So here's mine. You can trash me. The following program is rated podcast MALSV. It contains strong language, sexual situations, violence, and nudity.
Dude,
It is intended only for mature audiences. Listener discretion is advised.
you cheated.
I didn't.
You added some.
No, you
'Cause
guys
that's
said that.
like beautifully perfect. Like
All I did was this. I cut my hands around the microphone and I did this.
You cupped your hands around the microphone like that.
I did. I didn't. And you guys gave me crap at the time. You said you
The
altered that.
following podcast
and you edited it.
is rated MSL.
I swear I did not edit it. But
Yep.
I did do this around the mic to give it a little extra pump.
It's like an echo.
It gives it a little reverb.
Echo.
Well, that's cheating.
That's not cheating. Nobody gave any rules. Show me the rules.
He improvised.
I got your rules right here.
I got your rules.
He worked outside the box.
Oh,
That's where he does his best work.
Outside the box.
outside the box.
Yeah.
Oh, you were
like
going to
to-
go somewhere and
I
then
like
you
to go
decided
in.
not to?
I like to go inside the box.
You like to do
but,
you do your best work inside the box?
Oh my God, that's good reminiscing right there, guys.
That's funny.
That is fun stuff. So, Chewy, why don't you start off with Sons of Anarchy, the Mayans? It is coming. When's it coming? Do you remember?
Well, they're starting they're starting directing in March of this year. So,
When did they say? I think
Yeah.
they said, when's it coming out though? When's it going
it'll
to
be.
air?
They haven't said that, but it'll
I
be.
think they did. I
It'll
thought
be
they
a
said
year.
fall of 17. I know it's coming out.
So,
It's fall of 17, bro.
what?
Yeah.
Really?
Yeah, I got it in my notes here, and I read an article. They expect it to come out in the fall of 17. is
That's
what they're-
really quick because I
that's
know
what they're shooting for.
when he started shooting scenes for Bastard Executioner, it took a year. But again, they had to travel for that.
Right.
So.
No, I'm not readily.
go, right there.
Right here. While An official premiere date hasn't been released by the network, which is FX, right?
Right.
Or Kurt Sutter. The show is expected to debut in fall of 17. That's why I'm so excited.
Wow.
And I spit on my monitor, Chewy.
That's crazy.
Again?
Yeah.
No, just earlier. That's why I was so excited earlier. I'm still excited.
Well, I think it's, I think it'll be.
Why don't you start with the premise of it and what we're doing here?
What it's going to be is, and first of all, so Kurt Sutter's got, the background of it is the Mayans.
Which were a Mexican club in
From
the original Sons of
California.
Anarchy from California, Oakland area,
Yep.
if I remember right. Mm-hmm.
And so basically.
O-Town.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, that's what you call it?
I'm gangsta.
Oh, yeah.
Get down.
Not with that look on your face, you're not.
Go ahead, Chewy.
But it's going to be basically post Jax Teller. So, of course, he's not going to be in it.
Really? How do you know that?
Post Jax Teller. Well, they could show.
dead.
Right. Yeah, I was thinking pre. Okay, I get
They
it.
could go. They could do some.
I stand corrected.
Future. Back in the past stuff, and show like little clips of
right
why something happened and him be there. But
Yeah,
you're
they
right.
might
So
even-
it's after he dies.
That's
Yes.
interesting that you say that. I wonder if they will use any of the SOA stuff in this.
I'm almost
Very
positive
little, I
that
think,
Like,
from what I
if
read.
they're talking
So
about
they're not
Flash.
going to have the SOA motorcycle.
The way
club
I
in there?
understand it.
Well, and
I could be wrong, but from everything I've read, it sounds like they are steering away from anything SOA and making this a complete entity on its own. We all know where the Mayans came from, and we'll know that going into it. I could be wrong, but I couldn't find any other articles or literature that said that SOA was going to be heavily involved. It was really it's a very strict Mayan story.
I wonder how they're going to start it off then, because they're going to have to, for the audience that didn't watch the Sons of Anarchy, they're going to have to give some type of background on the club and how they came about and whatnot, you'd think.
Do they?
You would have
Or do you
to
just start off?
I think that's what I'm saying.
But you would have to involve.
I think it's very narrowly focused. It's a show of its own, and it needs no other. And I could, like I said, come fall 2017, you can tell me I'm full of shit.
But they have to involve the Sons of Anarchy because they were. I mean, was part of the Mayans.
That's not what the show is about. The show is about the Mayans MC.
Yeah, but that's how they negotiated, though. They negotiated with the Sons of Anarchy. They did all that stuff, with different motorcycle clubs.
I agree.
So they'll have to have.
How, though? My argument is that makes no bearing on just doing a show about the
No, it won't be the main. But I'm sure that they're going to have Sons of Anarchy in that show. At some point.
Here's an interesting thing, and this is good. I love this open discussion. It'll begin shooting in March, like Chewy said, directed by Sons of Anarchy creator Kurt Sutter from a script from Sutter and Elgin James, which we'll talk about him here in a minute. He's a co-writer and a producer. Sutter will serve as executive producer with James Elgin as co-executive producer. Mayans will follow EZ, the letter Z, Reyes, which is a prospect, which is a potential member, of course, a prospect club member for the club's charter on the California-Mexico border. EZ, the prospect EZ, will struggle with his desire for vengeance against the local cartel and his need for the woman in his life to respect him. Sons of Anarchy fans will recognize the Mayans from the Sons of Anarchy, where they were sometimes allies, sometimes
Adversaries
to the Sons of Anarchy Motorcycle Club, Northern California.
Okay, so wait a minute.
Chapter.
Isn't that similar to what Jax Teller did?
What do you mean?
Well, in the aspect of, he vengeance.
Jax Teller, right?
Yeah, went back for vengeance, and he wanted both girls to respect him. So
Interesting. Yeah. No, that's a good point.
We'll see.
Mayans MC hasn't officially been ordered to series, but the odds of it ending up among FX's busted pilots, a small group in and of itself, are small. Sons of Anarchy was FX's highest rated ongoing series over its 7-season run, a show that routinely beat out its broadcast competition in the 10 p.m. hour. Sutter's last show for FX, we already talked about it. The non-SOA related The Bastard Executioner didn't fare quite as well, and Sutter and FX agreed to end the series after a season. Mayans MC comes from Fox 21 TV Studios and FX Productions. Sutter is represented by WME, whatever all that legal shit is.
So by reading that, is it really confirmed that this is actually going to happen?
No, it's done.
Because reading that, look, go back to what that says.
It is saying there's a small chance it could be a pilot.
There always is. There always is with every show. Right. I get what you're saying. Good point, though. Yeah, no, it could pilot. I mean, it could do half a season and FX can cancel it. I mean, just the recent one, Matt, which was on A&E, which was Gangland Undercover.
With Charlie Falco.
Charlie Falco, and he infiltrated the Vagos. Well, this was him.
That was the second one.
Infiltrating the Mongols, right?
Yeah.
And me and Lurch, well, I watched the first 2 episodes, fucking done. And they don't.
Stupid, huh?
Well, no, they don't know it.
It was over.
I thought it was good. No, they just right in the middle of it. Cut it. There's all kinds of behind the scenes deals that goes on with this shit. And I think they're going to continue with it. It wasn't that it was doing bad. It's just that there's all kinds of legalities and money involved and what shows get what spots and what times. And A&E's working on the way I understand it, Matt. We need to follow up on that because me and Matt were going to watch it and we're going to do an episode on it. And everybody was pissed. And so I had to go to Twitter, Facebook to try to figure out. Anyways, back on track with this. So very well, we don't know if it's going to make it. From all intents and purposes, it looks like they've got the check written and they're shooting and they want to get it out by fall 2017. He just he's a smacker.
Lip smacker.
You know what?
Look at me. Look at me.
What I was actually hoping for is what they had first came out with, rumors of a prequel.
Yeah.
Of Jax Teller's dad and
the original line or whatever.
I think that would have been a good idea.
Badass.
I think that
would have been badass. How it formed. You could have showed him, how he came out of the,
when he was a kid.
Military, where he came about, how it all formed. That would have been badass, I think.
I agree.
But this will be good.
There's a lot of things that have to come together to get that done, and maybe they couldn't get the actors they needed.
Correct.
Who knows?
Yeah.
But I think, and
this
there
is
was
easier
rumors
because they could just do the Mayans and that's it. It can be a show on its own. I really do think it can stand without.
But think about
the Sons of Anarchy story.
Sure.
Think about how gripping that could be, though, of a series. The prequel.
I think the prequel would have been awesome.
I mean,
it would have been awesome.
You could have set it back in the 70s or whenever whenever it was late 60s, and that would have been.
I wonder how much of this Mayans show, what kind of a blueprint it's going to follow. What I mean by that is it going to follow the Sons of Anarchy blueprint and be real similar? You kind of alluded to that. We're following a prospect who wants revenge, who wants the women in his life to respect him, and it sounds a lot like the Sons of Anarchy.
Yeah,
right.
Well, if Kurt Sutter's directing it, there's going to be sex and violence and nudity and
really, we're gonna have to do our openers again.
Sexual.
We'll give you a take 2 without the sexual.
Sexual.
We'll give you a redo. Good points. But for even FX finally came out and said, we're doing it. We're pre-production. Is that what they call it? Yeah. Pre-production. And anyways, it's on the Mexi Cali border, which is going to be interesting, where they're shooting all this thing. And we all know that, did we read this one? Let's go right to here. Oh, it's the same one. Yeah. It's the same one. Okay. Just wanted to make sure I wasn't missed. So
let's talk about, you guys want to talk about the assistant director or co-director?
Let's do it. Elgin James. I listened to I watched an interview with him, and he talks about they really want to take the Latino background on this whole series. And Elgin James is Latino, right? Yes, he's Latino, and they want to take the whole Latino background and really, really emphasize that. And the interview talked about how his upbringing, he went through a very rough childhood, was in and out of foster homes and stuff like that. But he does, he was in and out of gangs. So he does have a background in all that stuff. So I think that's why Kurt Sutter, brought him in, because he's got that background. He's Latino. He's been in gangs and stuff like that. So he was in gangs, huh? Yeah. So he has that background. He's got all that. So, that aspect of it may work. You know what I mean? Because there was two. If you remember, there were two directors for Sons of Anarchy. Right. There was Kurt Sutter and there was the black man. Right. I forget his name. Yeah. Really, really, really good stuff. So, I mean, it could work. And I think it's going to be similar
you're going to see some of the same things I think that you saw in Sons of Anarchy. Anytime that you deal with an outlaw motorcycle club, you're going to deal with prostitution, which wasn't something. You're going to deal with drugs.
You're
going to deal with guns.
Running guns.
Yeah.
Stolen property, murder.
There's going to be
extortion,
murder, rape.
That's what you can look forward to.
Pilfering.
Pilfering.
Plundering.
Hustle.
Pillaging.
Bustle.
Maybe some pillaging.
The hustle and bustle.
The bustle.
Hey, Bikeaholics, feed your addiction. Patch Addict has badass embroidered patches for every passion, and the quality is unmistakable from this family-run company based out of Austin, Texas. More than 800 patches to choose from. These patches look great on vests, hats, gear bags, motorcycle covers, and more. A huge assortment of large back-size patches, plus military, Irish, religious, funny, patriotic, road sign patches, and more. That's right, they design their own patches, so they have dozens of exclusive patches that you won't find anywhere else. Head over to lawabidingbikers.com/patch addict. You'll get free shipping on every order over $25, plus 15% off when you use coupon code LAB15. That's LAB15. Elgin James, the man named as the one who will launch Sons of Anarchy, executive producer Kurt Sutter's Mayans MC spinoff show, is still relatively unknown to us Sons of Anarchy fans. Anyways, James Elgin, a filmmaker and musician he is a former member of SFFSU Friends Stand United, a technically classified gang out of Boston, Massachusetts. He spent a good portion of his childhood in orphanages, as Chewy said, and foster homes, and was eventually adopted and raised by a civil rights activist. While he was a member of the FSU, he saved at-risk dogs from being used for fighting rings in the fighting rings. The group was featured on the History Channel, National Geographic, and in Rolling Stone magazines for this network. His filmography includes Release, Live 3/4, Boston Beatdown, Volume 2, Dark Planet, that was in 2005, Enemy, 2007, Good Night, Moon, by Think Films, 2007, Little Bird, 2011, which got a lot of rave, Little Birds did, and Lowriders, 2016.
I haven't seen any of those.
I know.
I have no idea.
You said Little Birds was...
I did the research I did.
Okay.
I've never seen it, but he got a lot of
Dark and
accolades.
Twisted Tale, huh?
Yeah, an unpleasant
received
little
rave reviews by critics. Might be something we need to check out.
Little Birds.
And it's one of the quotes is, it's an unpleasant little film about a sulking, self-mutilating 15-year-old girl.
Oh, geez.
I know. He's can, but okay, and that's a good point, Lurch.
Why the hell would you watch that shit?
But why do you think he's writing it then? Because Kurt Sutter writes the same kind of shit. They put these two total devious mental guys to write this dark. That's why I think it's going to be rather dark, is my guess. The Mayans MC, because you got these two guys, but they're brilliant in their same right. You know, like we said.
Some of his interview.
No. I don't think so, just because it's so long, and I don't know what parts to play.
Yeah,
we can play part of it if you want. It's up to you.
Oh, I don't care.
Yeah, it's like a 15-minute interview, and I don't know what parts to play, but there's an interview. I'll actually put it in the show notes, guys, lawabidingbikers.com/ and whatever episode number this is, I'll put it's anyways, it's an interview. It's a good interview, huh? Chewy, you watched it?
Yeah, it is.
It gives you a lot of insight into
Just
the
talks
real,
about his background and who he is and where he comes from.
The real Elgin James and who this guy is and what he's about. Nero. There's a picture of Nero.
Oh,
he's a great actor.
Nero?
Great actor.
I don't know.
Jimmy Smith.
Jimmy Schmidt.
No, this is just a related article.
Oh,
he's a great actor.
So they did talk to Jax. I saw an interview with Jax because, which is Charlie Hunnam.
Was that the one where he was walking on the pavement?
I don't.
And they were out there with the camera asking him questions about this.
The one I saw, he was sitting down with somebody.
Oh.
Was there another one?
Yeah, I saw one where he was outside. He was in street clothes. I think he was maybe
somebody
running
just caught
or
him.
walking, and they caught him, and he just kind of he was kind of brushing him off a little bit, just like, oh yeah,
So the paparazzi caught him.
He goes, the last time I checked, he goes, Jax Teller died in the last episode, because they were asking him if he was gonna play a part in it. He goes, well, the last I checked, Jax Teller died in the last episode.
Nice. I wish I would have saw that. I wish I would have saw that video. But the one I saw is they sat down with him a little bit, and he was very adamant about it that Kurt Sutter had not contacted him. FX had not contacted him. He knew and he had heard rumors like us that FX was doing a network, but in no way was he involved with it or was going to be involved, nor that he's got other, Hunnam's doing a whole bunch of other stuff too. So, you know, he probably wouldn't, but again, if it's post, like you said, you know, post Jax Teller era, well, that wouldn't make sense anyways. How would you even bring him back into the show, you know, unless you did.
He's starring in that new movie about King Arthur. It looks awesome. Really? He's King Arthur.
Oh, have you seen that, Matt?
No, I have not. It looks really good.
I'm not surprised that he's not moving, you know, that he is moving. I'm not surprised that he is moving into bigger things because of the exposure he got with 7 seasons of.
And he's a good
Sons
actor.
of Anarchy,
he's not a bad looking guy. So that's, I mean.
Right. And he's a good actor. Mm-hmm. He's a good actor. Got to move on from his, you know.
If you don't, you get pigeonholed and then you'll never be able to do anything
never
else.
Never can expand.
Right.
Yeah.
Nobody likes to get holed or pigeoned.
No, nobody likes their pigeonholed.
No, buddy. Yeah, the only way they would be able to bring Jax back into the Mayans at all would be the dream sequence. They'd have to go back in time, Chewy.
Yeah.
And I honestly don't think they even are remotely interested in that from what I read.
You know, I read something else too about the president of the Mayans, the guy that played, I forget his name.
Emilio Rivera.
Rivera. I heard that
Marcus Alvarez.
He's going to play a very minimal, maybe not even.
Really?
Yeah, that's what I read.
Yeah, well, I know that they're
very minimal.
I know that they're unclear what role he'll play in the pilot.
They were trying to get people into, you know, actors, and I don't know if there's like a contract issue or he's wanting too much money or he's just got other things going. But
right, and that's a lot of the behind the scenes stuff that we don't know. Mm-hmm. He Instagrams a lot of stuff, and
Emilio does.
Yeah, he's very heavily involved on Instagram. That's where I see him a lot. But former Sons of Anarchy star Emilio Rivera is also set to be involved in the project. It has not been confirmed that he's reprising his role as Marcus Alvarez, so he might not even come back. We're not sure. The president, Marcus Alvarez, was the president of the Mayans MC, but his social networks have let fans know that he is in fact involved with the show in some fashion. Both he and Sutter have posted numerous photos of themselves, the Mayans, and teases about the show.
He makes a good bad guy.
He does.
Yeah, he does.
He
fits that role.
He does. He was fun. He played on TV series Renegade with Lorenzo Lamas. He also had a role in Con Air.
Huh.
He was in Con Air. This
Renegade. That's going back.
That is. So is Con Air.
Yeah,
that was a great movie, Con Air. Co-starring Nicolas Cage.
Beverly Hills 90210, huh?
He was. Look at that.
You got to be shitting me.
I know he's been in a lot of stuff.
Walker, Texas Ranger.
Hey,
Hitman, Agent 47.
Oh, that's badass.
A Man Apart with Van Diesel. Let's see, Friday. See if we recognize any. There's Rush, Howard Stern's The Son of Beach, Law and Order,
Yeah.
Special Victims Units, Z Nation, Next Day Air. Yeah. Anyways, My Name is Earl. The 11th episode of the 2nd season of My Name is Earl. But he's had a fairly distinguished.
He's a pretty good actor.
He is, and he did well on Sons of Anarchy. I really liked him as the president of the Mayans.
Yeah, he did well on that show.
Yeah, there he is. Look at that. That's how I remember him.
Yeah.
Look at the old stash, the old devil.
Yeah, he looks,
chin stash, dude.
He fits that part.
Emilio Rivera has discovered that turning your life around is the key to making dreams come true. His acting credentials have allowed him to top the list of successful Latino actors. His resume continues to grow with starring roles in films such as High Crimes 2002 with Ashley Judd and Morgan Freeman. And I didn't see the full bio here, but let's go down here. Emilio was born in San Antonio, Texas.
Oh, wow.
The oldest child of 4 brothers. He was a young boy. His family moved to the LA area. Yes. And anyways, it's probably enough about that, his background a little bit. But yeah, so it'll be interesting. I don't, honestly, that's the thing. You know, if they don't use him as the president of the Mayans, then it's truly, you'll know right away that show is to stand on its own. Yeah. Because if he comes back as the president, then we get it as Sons of Anarchy watchers.
I think as what, I'm not a director, but I think what Sutter should do.
You are a director. And you don't live where? What did he say earlier? Or you didn't live in that time.
I'm not from those times.
And he's not a director.
I'm not from those ancient times.
But we got to bust his ass. It's awesome.
I think Kurt Sutter should, either involve that aspect, either show where he went, just so the guys that from the previous
right
that are related to
where Marcus went.
Yeah,
Marcus Alvarez.
So we're like, oh, we can relate it to that. I think that would be beneficial to the guys that have, people that have watched the show previously,
right?
Because it'll give them kind of a I don't know, sense of relation to the Sons of Anarchy, I guess.
I agree. I would like to see that. I would like to see that they bring some of the SOA spin into it a little bit, so it picks up a little bit the story. But I can't really say that from what I've read that's going to happen. But I would like that for a personal thing.
Yeah, well, you know how the Sons of Anarchy, the Sons of Anarchy show was based on that club, but there were side shows where like the Mayans would come in. I think that they should do that with the Sons of Anarchy. The show is going to be about the Mayans,
right?
But you could easily have episodes where the Mayans are meeting with the Sons of Anarchy regarding transfer of guns or a missing person or anything. You know what I mean? It doesn't have to be focused on Sons of Anarchy,
right?
But having them as part of the show, I think would be kind of cool.
I do too. And I think all SOA previous watchers would like that a little bit because it gives us a little sense of where the show is and
Tig and Chip.
My guess is that that's not going to happen. I'm just saying. You know what? We love our patrons, guys.
Yes, we do.
Love our patrons. But we never, ever balk at a flat donation. Balk. Because they help support us too, guys. And if that's the way you want to support us, we appreciate it, guys. You know the song, Lurch? What is it?
Go!
Yeah, that's what you want to do. Go! Yeah, that's what you want to do, dude. All right, why don't you, Chewy, thank a few of these people for leaving us flat donations.
Dan Gellner of Klamath Falls, Oregon, substantial donation.
Thank you, Dan.
Just south of us, Klamath Falls, Oregon. How cool is that? Mm-hmm.
Ken, and I'm going to have some help with that. Froschizer of Northwest Montana. I love Montana.
Yes.
It's a great place.
We've ridden through there.
It's a great place. I do lots of hunting over there.
Yes, sir.
And Stuart Bussman of Mesquite, Nevada.
Mesquite.
He said mesquite. That's freaking sweet. And I
love you.
I totally effed up the sound there. That
was the wrong tune or what?
No, I stopped it short.
Oh,
I stopped short because it was an accident. Doesn't matter. People are used to it. That's how we roll. Yeah, thanks, guys. We do appreciate it. lawabidingbiker.com/donate. You too can take action and leave us a flat donation. Helps put a little fuel in the Law Abiding Biker gas tank. Mm-hmm.
And keeps our motor running on down the road.
That's right, guys. We'd love to have you as a patron, but like I say, we never balk at a flat donation. Balk. All right, Chewy. What else? Ooh, what do we got here? Let's look at this, Chewy. What else you want to say about the spinoff?
I just, I hope it's successful for him. I think he's a good director.
It could. Here's the problem that I see. Let me pause this. I hate things that autoplay. Here's the problem I see with the series. I personally want it to happen. I'm excited about it, as you can see from spitting on my monitor earlier, and waving my hands around and all that. I am excited about it. I was, of course, a sad one to see SOA go. But I think some of the problems they're going to run into is what we're talking about. Is people, especially prior Sons of Anarchy fans, are either going to accept it quickly or abandon it quickly. Yeah. And it's going to heavily depend on what they do with it. Like I say, if it's a complete Mayans, I think you'll end up losing some people.
Well, I mean, you could do that though, because you could start off, if you've got some, if you've got some actors and some people that, people that are watching the show can relate to, and people that they like Jax Teller. I mean, people just he grew on them, and what was going on in the show. The second season of, I believe it was the second or third season, when they went over to Ireland, there was a lot of people that stopped watching the show based on that series.
Really?
Yeah.
Oh, interesting.
A lot of people that, when you talk to them, if they didn't like the show, you ask, you talk to them, and their one issue was that season of him going over there for his kid and blah, blah, blah. They didn't like that. I personally liked it.
I did.
But the people that stopped watching the show, technically, when they give their opinion, that's why.
Okay.
Because of that season. But a lot of people, can relate, to Jax. He's a, good actor. It was, if you like violence, if you like fast motorcycles, nudity,
check.
Yeah.
Check. What I'm picking up there is nobody knew who Charlie Hunnam was. No. I didn't know who he was before this series. So I mentioned it earlier. It sounds like, and you brought it up, Chewy, it sounds like the template is very similar to Sons of Anarchy. So if that guy playing the prospect EZ, if he is well received like Jax was, then I think it'll feel familiar, and I think the series will be successful and people will like him. So I think it has a lot to do with that actor and how people take him.
And I don't think Jax Teller was immediately like, oh, this is, I don't think it was immediate. I think it took a little bit of time, a couple seasons, and then people caught on and were like, wow, this is a really great show.
Yeah, I agree. It got more popular as more people heard about it and started getting involved with it and getting sucked in. But it was FX, we read that earlier, number one, I think even to this day, running series. I mean, they kicked ass.
And I'm guessing if they had any input in this, they're saying, yeah, make it a little bit like the Sons of Anarchy.
See?
That template worked.
Right, and we're going to bring over the audience. And they know they're going to bring over the SOA audience.
Oh, yeah.
They've immediately got an audience. They got to try to hold that audience.
Right.
And that's the key.
They'll have a lot of people watch the first one. We'll see how many watch the second one.
The pilot, that's what they're waiting for, too. They're going to be pulling numbers. And
it's going to have a very heavy Latino background, though.
Yes.
If you read the stuff.
True. According to creator Kurt Sutter, the show will be darker, quote, darker, a deep-rooted family drama that will showcase the Latino voice, unquote. In the original series, the Mayans were the Latino MC that dealt heavily with the Sons. The clubs began as rivals, but ended up becoming allies by the end of the series. And I think, I will tell you this, remember in Sons of Anarchy, whenever you saw the Mayans, dude, there were some straight-up Cholo bikes.
Big old apes and low to the ground, and
so
white tires, white rim
Mexican
tires,
blanket on front.
Yeah.
Looks like Rick's bike.
Yeah, like Chola.
Yep.
Yeah. So there's going to be some fun there with videography and the props and stuff like that. Seeing some of that, just the real and I agree that it's going to have a heavy Hispanic influence, obviously with the Mayans and stuff like that. And where they're filming it down on the Mexi-Cali border, there's going to be a lot of that Hispanic culture and influence and stuff like that. And I think that's kind of what they're shooting for with this particular series. So, and I don't think any of the rest of this matters. Yeah, we talk about little birds already. Look at, this is the kind of stuff they're tweeting. See this? This was a tweet by Sutter.
That's a Sons of Anarchy picture when they were doing Sons of Anarchy.
Oh, is it? Oh, it's an old one.
I've seen that picture before.
Gotcha. All right. And this article's a little older because it's talking about, we're already in pre-production and all that. So,
the fall of,
fall of 2017 is what you guys can look forward to.
Less than a year away.
And you're right, Chewy. There was not a lot of other information on who exactly the other actors were. Yeah. I think a lot of that was, I think it's rolling so quick and they want them to do pre-production. All of a sudden that there just wasn't a lot of information. I mean, really,
it'll be coming out here in the next few months.
I bet. Marcus Alvarez was the only,
it has to, because they're going to start shooting in March.
Right. Or Rivera, right?
Yeah. Emilio Rivera.
He was really the only one that you could find anything on. We don't even know who's going to play EZ, this new prospect and stuff like that. So they're probably
that's kind of cool
selecting actors and all kinds of stuff.
That's kind of cool that they don't tell you either, because then you go and you're surprised when you see the show and you might see someone that and you go, oh wow, that's really cool.
Yeah, you won't walk into it with a preconceived notion.
Yes,
of who's going to be there, because we don't even know what Alvarez, what's his real name, Rivera is going to be playing. So any other thoughts? Do a round, and then we'll do a round table, and then we've got a voicemail and something else that we got to handle here. Oh, a new free video and a voicemail. Cool voicemail. Yeah. Do a round table, Chewy. What's your final thoughts on this? Anything we didn't pick up? Anything you want to say?
I think it'll be
that you read or saw.
Just give it a chance. When it comes out, I mean, it's, if you like motorcycles, I think it, anything that Kurt Sutter's involved in is going to have, there's going to be some crazy stuff happening.
Right.
And so I think it's going to draw an audience if they can just, keep it to what he does and knowing, about motorcycle clubs.
Right.
And don't go outside of that and just, it can be successful. It's just up in the air. We'll have to see.
I do too. It's either going to be I think it's one of those things. It's either going to be a huge success or people are going to resist it. And that's going to come a lot. Like I've already alluded to, it's going to come to the previous Sons of Anarchy. If somebody doesn't know SOA and just goes watches it, probably accept it quicker. Yeah. We're already going to have preconceived notions coming in. So either we're going to accept it as it is and as they write it and produce it, or we're going to be like, this is not what I had in my mind for it. And you're going to reject it. You know what I mean?
I hope that he kind of involves some of the Sons of Anarchy stuff that happened in the past into the show.
I think we do hope that
that'll draw some of the people that have watched it before. You know what I mean? It doesn't have to be, of course, not all about Sons of Anarchy, but writing some of that stuff into the shows that they're doing it'll grasp.
Or even if they do cameos with some of the old guys.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Just here and there.
Yeah.
It will. Yeah, that would be fun. I agree. That would be totally fun.
Yeah.
Lurch, what say you?
I think that if he follows the template that he used with Sons of Anarchy, but tries to make it stand on its own, I think it'll be successful. If you're coming into it expecting it to be just like the Sons of Anarchy and it's not, then I think people are going to get turned off.
Going to reject it.
So I'm curious to see what kind of avenue it's going to take. Is it going to be any relation to the Sons of Anarchy? Is it going to be completely on its own? It sounds real familiar, though, like Chewy alluded to earlier, that you got a guy that wants revenge and he's trying to get the respect of the women in his life. I mean, it sounds very similar to SOA, but it's going to be a different club, and the Latino part will add some different characteristics to it. Mm-hmm. So I think it's going to feel real familiar, but hopefully it's fresh.
Yeah.
And if it's fresh, then I'll like it.
It's fresh.
So fresh and so clean.
If it's just if they just slapped it together and try to make it successful based on the fact that the Sons of Anarchy was so successful for FX. I wonder how much input FX is going to have. If they're just cramming it down our throats to make money, I think us as viewers are going to notice that and probably get turned off.
Nice.
So we'll see.
Nicely said.
I'm walking into it open-minded, and we'll see what happens.
Nice. Good wrap up, dude. You want to talk about this video real quick?
Whoa, yeah, look at that. We got a new video out there, new free video. We have to charge for a few of our bigger videos, our longer ones. But we like to say, and we keep it true, that 95% of our content is free. Mm-hmm. And you got to move the thing so that little box isn't covering up the wording. Thank you. So we got a new free video out. It's how to replace a Harley primary drive auto chain tensioner. I got a complete guide for you. So you can go to lawabidingbiker.com/Harley auto chain tensioner, or just go up to any of the pages on the lab website and use that search bar and just put in Harley auto chain tensioner and it'll pull it up for you.
Nicely said, guys. And that was one that was highly requested. And guys wanted to know about that auto chain tensioner, and me and Lurch did that. In fact, that's when we removed the primer. We did a whole bunch of videos. That was just a little section of that. We got
some little tips and tricks to make it easy for you.
Oh yeah, zip tying and all that. Yeah, you know what I'm talking about. Yep. Yeah, sweet. That is completely free, guys. On our YouTube channel, we've got some 200 and close to 230, 50 videos on there for you guys.
That's crazy.
I know, dude. And I've already got, how many drafts I have.
Oh yeah.
There's probably still 20 videos I haven't released. We just can't release them all at once.
You like to drip your content.
I drip. I got the drip. What do you think about that, Chewy?
They make antibiotics for that.
Oh, we've known that for years.
Oh yeah, nobody likes the drip.
The drip. Clean yourself.
Except the audience likes the drip, apparently. So let's say, hey, what do we got here? Ooh, a voicemail about the boombox. This will be good for you, Lurch. Lurch can answer this, so listen up, Lurch. Listen close.
I'm curious as to speakers on my 2015 Road Glide CVO Ultra Classic. I want to put Hertz speakers in there with a JBL amp, 600 watts. my question is about the radio. How do I, or what do you recommend to change that radio out to give it better wattage, better sound system, so that way it'll still work everything else through all the controls, or if it can be done or not. There's a place in Houston that I'm going to slide over to, put some 6x9s in there. They'll do all the speakers, but I just think that the radio probably needs to be vamped up or something. And I'm trying to get your thoughts on radios. It's a 2015 Road Glide Ultra, and I just am totally lost. Just appreciating any feedback that you have.
So there you go. I didn't hear the whole thing. You should have told me I had those lights on from the live
thank
episode.
You for turning those off.
We could have turned those off an hour ago.
I know. It's nice and comfy in here now.
You got used to them.
So he's got a 15, but he wants to swap out the stereo. I don't know why.
I think he's asking if he has to.
Right. He's worried
putting
about
in speakers, but
he's
he wants
worried
to make
about
sure it's compatible with.
Right. If it has enough power, right?
Well, the stereo doesn't have a whole lot of power, but if you're putting amps, then it doesn't matter how much stereo.
Yeah.
That's the good answer. That's what he wants to know.
Yeah. So and I heard him say he's putting in an amp and speakers, 600 watt JBL amp, which is a shit ton
and
of
some 6x9.
watts.
6x9.
Yeah.
That's a metric shit ton of power. Straight up, dude.
600 watts for a couple 6x9s. That might be a little much, but you can dial it down.
Right.
I don't know. I don't know that I would change out that boom system just because of the power. The power has nothing to do with.
And he's asking about the controls and
and that's the thing. If you swap out your stereo and put an aftermarket Marine stereo in it, the controls aren't going to most likely work.
Toggle controls on your control cluster
most likely will not work. Now it depends. I mean, like when you put a new stereo in a car, there are some conversion kits that you can put in, wiring kits that will allow like your steering wheel buttons to work, but I'm not aware of any company that's making an aftermarket stereo for the boom system that'll integrate with your toggles.
Right.
So I think you're losing way too much functionality of the boom system. You're going to lose obviously the mapping. You're going to lose a lot of stuff. I don't know if it'd be worth swapping out your stereo. And if you're putting an amp in, there'll be plenty of power anyways.
Right.
So I say leave the boom in there, get the amps, get the speakers, you're good to go.
I agree. I concur with Lurch. Yeah, don't get hung up on the boom. The boom will work perfect for your needs and you'll have all the functionality that you need. And really, like Lurch says, if you got amps, which is what you're doing anyways, if you're running lid speakers and or front speakers, is all the systems we've done videos on here at Law Abiding Biker Media. They all have amps, and that's what really powers the speaker.
Right.
You just the stereo just gives you your line
exactly.
input. Anyways,
exactly. And meaning there's no power behind it.
Right.
It's
straight
line level. It's a
line level,
clean, undistorted, no power input that goes in the amp, and then the amp amplifies that signal and makes it more powerful.
Nicely said. Anything else before you guys want to take it out here on that? Pretty good episode.
Yeah.
I liked it. It was nice. I think we should go out.
More to come.
Yes, more to come as we find out more.
If it turns out to be a popular series, maybe we'll do an episode every 2 or 3 shows or something and talk about it. We'll see. We'll have to see what the following is.
Yes.
If our community wants it, then we'll provide it. If they don't, then we probably won't.
Yep.
'Cause we don't want to put it out there if you're not going to want it.
Right. Dang it. I'm just messing up tonight. Straight up, dude. That's
You
what
got sticky fingers over there.
That's what you do when you do two.
That's what happens with the drip, dude. You get sticky fingers.
You do frickin' 2 episodes. You do a live one and then this one, and you're just like, oh my God, dude.
Spitting on your computer.
I know.
Screwing up the audio.
He's got the drip going.
I'm a straight wreck, dude. Yeah, we may, and there's going to be a lot more information that comes out. So we may do, mid-year 2017. This is supposed to air in the fall. That's not for sure yet, but I'm hoping for that. As we find out more information, we're going to do little tidbit updates.
I bet you they have different intro music. They have to.
Oh, hell yeah.
Lowrider.
Yeah, dude. Straight up, dude.
Bum, 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 bum. Bum, 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 bum.
That'll be sweet, dude. Little Mariachi. Yeah.
And all of our
Chewy's got it down.
Our normal audience, I don't even know if they listen to all the SOA episodes. We had people that came on and downloaded the podcast just for the SOA stuff. So
You're right.
I would imagine I would see it similar. If we do it moving forward, it'll be a bonus content.
Yes, it won't affect our regular.
Yeah, we'll still do our regular
core
shows. And then we'll maybe pump out a Mayans MC podcast. We'll see. Just
Agree.
Depends. Just
Agree.
depends.
Don't forget, guys, lawabidingbiker.com/store. That's our online store, guys. Of course, we got the Biker Gripper cell phone mount. We got Bug Slide. We got Bike Bright cleaning products, Vance and Hines products, Senna, IMC, headsets, and Bluetooth devices, guys. All that kind of stuff. If you want to support us and you want some great products, head over to our store. Again, lawabidingbiker.com/store. Hit us up, lawabiding, or 509-731-3548 is our hotline phone number, or leave a voicemail from anywhere in the world, right from your frickin' computer, guys.
Oh, yeah.
It's been nice. Thanks for listening.